Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to stay motivated to write a book. You may be at your wit's end at this point, but whatever you do, don't give up. Not yet, anyway. Watch this video first because the tips in this video can help you keep moving forward with your book, even when you want to set it aside. By the end of this video, you will learn the power of purpose, how to set incremental goals for yourself, and who to seek out if you need help with your book. And stay tuned until the end of the video for some tips to help you along your way. Let's dive in. A lot of things in life come down to motivation and finding the motivation inside of us to keep doing something. I know I feel that way sometimes when I think about going to the gym. I think about it and I think about it. I know I want to go and I should go, but then I decide not to because something else happens. It's kind of like writing a book. Writing a book is the same way. It's easy to find other things to fill the space and time with because writing a book is hard, just like going to the gym can be hard. But think about going to the gym and think about just doing one workout. Think about getting on the bike. Think about getting on the treadmill. Think about doing arm exercises for a little while, or maybe even just going for a walk. You can do something today to make progress to help you for tomorrow. And writing a book is the same way. You can do little things, little actionable steps to help you get closer to your goals in the future. Understanding your motivation really ties to understanding your purpose. What is your purpose for writing the book? If you have a strong sense of purpose, you're going to want to keep going, even when things get in the way. But if you don't have a strong sense of purpose, it's going to be easy to give up. If your goal for writing the book is just to write a book, it's not as strong. If your goal for writing the book is to help you become a thought leader, to take the next step in your career, that's a passionate project. If the goal is to document your family history for future generations, that's an important purpose. If your purpose is to take the next step as a CEO and you see the book as a means of getting there, you're going to want to keep going. But if your goals for writing the book aren't purposeful and specific and really fleshed out, it's going to be easy for you to set the book aside and do other things instead. As a result, you need to understand how your book is going to help you accomplish your goals. So once you understand the why I'm writing this, you have to understand the how. How is this going to help me? And then the other how is, how am I going to do this? So there's a lot of different questions you need to ask yourself at the beginning of every project. And it's interesting for me because when I meet with authors about their books, I ask them the same questions. Why are you writing the book? How is it going to help people? How is it going to help you? And how are you going to get there? What do you need in order to accomplish this goal? Because writing a book is not an easy thing. But asking those questions at the beginning of the process is going to make sure that your book stays aligned with your purpose and that you don't lose motivation because you want the goals on the other side of that. As you answer these questions for yourself and start working on the book, it's easy then to get overwhelmed. So once you even get past these obstacles, there's still challenges ahead. I know of so many authors who start the writing process and give up or put their book aside. And they're frustrated and they're disappointed. They wanted to do this, but they don't have the drive, motivation, desire, commitment, whatever the case may be, to follow through and to stick with it. This is all about incremental goals, small goals, little steps that you can take today to help you drive forward with the book. Some of those incremental goals are writing a little bit, doing a writing sprint. A lot of times with drafts, I talk to people about writing in 10 to 20 minute increments. Just writing as much as you can, brain dump onto the page, you can fix it later. I remember when I used to work in New York City and I would take the Metro North train in every single day to work, and it was 35 minutes from the train to Grand Central. And I would do a 35-minute writing sprint. And I would write as much as I can in those 35 minutes. Maybe I would write 400 words, maybe 500 words, maybe 1,000 words. And I would get to Grand Central and I would close my laptop and then I would go about my day and go to work. And I did the same thing on the train ride home, another 35 minutes. Great, let me do another writing sprint. Another great tool, another great approach for making progress with writing is by, instead of just sitting down at the keyboard and typing away, to go for a walk, It's good to get outside, get exercise. Go for a walk with an audio recorder or your phone and record audio of yourself talking through the story, your messages, your perspectives. Tell the story as you were telling a friend, as though you were just walking and talking to a friend. And take that audio, upload it to an AI audio transcription site like Otter or Rev, and take the automatic transcription that comes out of it in a couple minutes and turn that into text. It's a great way to make progress. We think of ourselves as being stuck and not having a lot of time, and motivation ties into that. If we think we don't have time, that's going to be it. You could have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't have time to do the writing, it's not going to happen. So by looking at writing sprints, making the most of the time you have, looking at transcription tools and audio recordings, making the most of the space and time you have, great tools. I use them all the time myself. Another thing I like to do when I'm working on a book is to jump around. It's easy to think of just writing chapter 1, then chapter 2, then chapter 3. Sometimes maybe you're not motivated to write chapter 3. What if you jumped ahead to chapter 8 and then jump back to chapter 3? If you have the structure and framework of the book set up already, and you know exactly what you want to write, you can look and target and focus on the very specific things you want to write on any given day and give your best. Give your best to the effort. Give your best energy and commitment to the effort. Your writing, when you're enthusiastic about something, your writing shines through that. You can tell when someone's enthusiastic about the topic they're writing about versus when they're not. Write things that you're enthusiastic about, because if you're not excited to write it, the reader's not going to be excited to read it. It's going to feel flat. It's going to feel boring, mundane. They're going to feel like they're drifting. Like, you really need to be enthusiastic about the things you're writing about. They don't need to be fun topics. You need to be emotionally drawn and connected to them, and you need to feel those things as you're writing to bring that out. If you're not emotionally connected and invested in the things you're writing, it's time to shift focus to the other things. Maybe there's something else that you are excited to write about. Write those things instead, then come back. Also, don't worry about writing the introduction right away. You can come back to it later. So many times authors start with the introduction, chapter 1, and spend all their time on that beginning of the book, and then the book evolves and changes, and then they have to rewrite chapter 1 and the introduction anyway. I find it's much better to jump into the story, to start writing, and to come back to it later when you've fleshed out at least about a half of the book. But that way you save a lot of time, and you keep from getting frustrated by the fact that the book keeps shifting. Then you're just writing an introduction based on what you've written instead of what you plan to write. With writing projects, I also like to keep consistent word count metrics. I like to understand how much I'm writing and how close I am to my goal. I will actually map out how long I think each chapter is going to be, and then figure out accordingly how much I've written. So if I've written all of chapter 5, I can not worry about that. And then I can look at chapter 7, which requires a lot more focus and I haven't written much on. It allows me to really be precise about where I'm spending my energy and my attention. It keeps me motivated to see the updates happening, to see the words piling up. And then I can look at chapter 8 and say, oh, I added 500 words there. Let me add that to my spreadsheet. Let me add that to my list. And it's great to see that progress. So there's so many different tools that you can use for yourself to be able to track your word count, be able to track your progress, and to focus on incremental daily and weekly gains, to keep moving forward on a daily and weekly basis. A great motivator for you to keep going is working with a professional, because they will keep you accountable and they will make sure that your book is as strong as it can be. And those professionals come through as coaches or ghostwriters. I think it's great when authors can pair with a ghostwriter or a coach to add more accountability to the process, to make sure that the message is as strong as possible. This is the great insurance that your book is going to be powerful. Obviously, it requires commitment and it requires vigilance to be able to find the right people to work with. You can't just hire anybody off the street and they're going to be able to be a great ghostwriter for you. But at the same time, finding a professional and working with them makes you more accountable to the process. It puts you in the driver's seat of this book, that you are an active participant in it, that you're a part of it, and now you have accountability in place, that you either need to make progress or someone else is making progress on your behalf. And it's great to see that kind of commitment, that you're so committed to this process that you're now enlisting help of professionals to help you get there. It's been awesome for me as a ghostwriter to see that on the opposite side and to know that some of my clients were at their wits' end when they first started working with me. When they first connected with me, they were lost, they were frustrated, things weren't going the way they wanted them to, and they were really concerned that they would never finish their book. And then 6 months, a year, 2 years later, here's their book. They're holding it. Oh my gosh, such a powerful thing, such an awesome thing, and something that you could feel too, something that's within reach. You know, writing your book is still within reach, and if you stay motivated and you find the purpose behind it, you know, and you align all of these different things behind the purpose, you're going to find a lot of success. So stick with it and don't give up. If you want to learn more about how to stay motivated to write a book, I really think you're going to learn a lot from a different video recorded. It's called Is It Hard to Write a Book? That video tackles the need to stick with it and really just some of the underlying pieces behind that motivation to keep you going, to keep making progress, and to get closer and closer to turning your book idea into a reality. Check it out. I think you're going to learn a lot from it. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.